Alright, UFS community, this is Phil Birch here doing a special Halloween edition of content. Today I'm going to be bringing you the top 10 scariest cards for new players to face. This is an interesting list, and obviously it's all completely opinion. I put this together earlier today, and I thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to just give some awareness for some new players and hopefully help them out while having a really cool Halloween theme to it. Alright, so my number 10 card, counting down 10 to 1, is going to be Damnation. Damnation is a scary card because it can catch a new player off guard just with its existence. Well, a lot of the time, new players' decks are mostly enhances just until they get the basis of everything. Like popular new people decks would be like a stun deck or a fire deck, something like that. It's pretty much pure damage pump and speed pump. And Damnation can kind of scare them, catch them off guard just because they could go in for a big enhance that costs a lot, say destroying foundations, committing a bunch of foundations, flipping, something like that, and Damnation can just negate them. Well, it's kind of the same thing. I guess I'd go 10 would be Damnation Revoke in that same vein. But yeah, like anything that they won't expect. A lot of times new players aren't going to read all of their cards, especially the cards their opponent has. They want to kind of make it just solitary to begin with. That's why it's mostly just enhances and stuff like that. So number 10 is, again, Damnation. Number 9, we're going to go with Kaplow. Kaplow is scary because it's a huge reversal. And being a huge reversal, a lot of times new players don't even know what reversal does. So you're throwing a huge attack at them on their turn that stuns them and lets you see their hand, and they're going to probably most of the time take the damage. They're not going to know how to play towards a reversal, especially even if they see you check one. They're just going to be like, okay, he's playing a huge attack. It's scary because it lets you see their hand, the stun too, and a lot of the time new players are going to try and pump their attacks pretty high speed, high damage, just to try and get them through. They're going to put a lot into just their individual attacks, and if they're blocked, then obviously you're going to reverse them with huge Kaplow. Alright, so number 9 again, we have Kaplow. Number 8, we're going to go with Concussion Blast. Concussion Blast is scary just because of how it interacts with the game. It skips the enhanced step, which is something your new players are going to be used to having. It also is going to clear itself when blocked. So if you have interactions like Playboy and stuff, you're going to keep throwing them over and over again. High speed, high damage, pretty easy to pass, and just a pain in the butt just early game. That's a big chunk of life, 5 high for, or 4 high for 8. And it's going to take its toll on a newer player if they don't understand, blocking it's okay, but if they have Playboy and stuff out, you don't want to block it. If they have tricks with it, you don't want to try and block it. And if they get hit by them over and over again, it's going to obviously lead to game. My next card, number, 10, 9, 8, 7 on the countdown. I can count 2 people. It's going to be Acrobatic. Acrobatic, it's just an action, and blue cards in general, I think, for new players are scary because they come from the hand. You're not going to see it coming. It's sneaky. I've been beaten by it before, so I know that it can't be fun for a new person. They're going to want, like I said earlier, they're going to pump damage, speed into their attacks, more times damage than not. And if it gets flipped around, it's going to suck, obviously. They're going to try and go for a huge attack turn, huge damage, little speed relatively in comparison, and just flip it around. It's got a +1 block on it. It's got an anti-multiple effect. It just does a lot of things that new players are going to kind of hate. And I know it's not super prevalent anymore, but that card's still really good. So there you have it. Alright, next on my countdown is going to be Heihachi. Yeah, he's the only character that made my countdown. Heihachi is just scary good damage. There's nothing like getting turn 1 by a Heihachi. Spinning demons, piercing howls, discard characters, you're dead. Nothing like piercing howl, discard a character, it hits, multiple spinning demon, character game. That kills any character in the game. It's a 6 hand size. So, hey. It's scary because, hey, why wouldn't it be scary? It's scary now. It's scary to me. I know that Heihachi has the most dirt potential in the game right now. We don't have any Trong, so hey, might as well go all balls Heihachi, right? Next on the countdown, we're going to go with Ostenheidenberg Castle Throne Room. Amy's Castle, whichever one's hers. Basically, this card is another card that's going to catch people off guard. It's going to catch new guys off guard. Kind of breaks a little bit the rules of the game by increasing the block modifiers on both players' cards. And nothing sucks more than trying to block something with 15 block difficulty. It's awful. I don't like doing it now. I think it's kind of a silly card, especially in Amy. Go figure, her house is good in her. So, hey, if you're throwing Amy around and you see that card out, you're going to want to look out for it. You're going to want to try and figure a way around it, and you're going to want to keep cards up. Because, yeah, blocking is pretty impossible, especially if that card's out. Alright, we've got number 4 on the countdown is Torn Hero. Torn Hero is another card that's like Damnation. It's just a oversight most of the time by new players, and they won't read it. And then they'll try and stun into it or commit cards into it, and surprise, there's Torn Hero. There goes half your board. I know people still do it now, even if they aren't like new. They'll just overlook it, and that's a big thing with UFS. You have to know what cards do, and if you overlook something, you can't let it destroy your game. Torn Hero is one of those cards that can do that. You try and, especially a Fire Stun deck. Fire Stun's a really common type for like new players. I know that I got into like this new format with the Fire Stun deck after I was out for a little bit, and it's tough. Not always around it and Fire, and it can really screw up the whole strategy of like a new player's deck, and that always sucks. I don't want to deal with it now, so I know they don't want to deal with it. And nothing makes people quit more than cards that they don't think are balanced. Number 3 on the countdown, Dragon Lifter. Dragon Lifter is the final attack on my countdown, and I think it's just the deck in general, the Dragon Lifter decks, that are really hard on new players. Once you learn how to play against them, they're very, very manageable, but right away it's kind of difficult. You're facing 6 speed highs, 8 damages minimum, on turn 2 usually, and that's just a tough thing to deal with. Torn Heroes will stop it. Just new players got to know and play to their strengths their deck with like against lifter decks, because there's a lot of hard counters to it with revokes, undisputed rulers, cot techniques, stuff like that really can slow down a lifter deck. But it's just knowing what your stuff can do, because there's a lot of times when people aren't gonna read their own cards, let alone their opponent's cards. And I know it's no fault to a new player at all. I mean, the game's really complicated, so. But, you'll get it. And hopefully be smashing Dragon Lifter decks in no time like the rest of us are doing. Alright, number 2 on the countdown, Financial Troubles. I don't have a problem with Financial Troubles, but I know a lot of new players who dislike just the pure card advantage it generates. You won't know when to discard for it, when's beneficial to discard, and maybe sometimes you'll just start discarding all the time because you don't know any better. It doesn't hit anti-discard. That's another new thing, that's another thing new players have to learn, and it might make you a little bit upset knowing that it doesn't, especially since it is a card effect, kind of. But multiple them out can really just be a very bad situation for a new player, especially one that thinks, hey, them drawing cards is going to make me lose anyway, so why don't I just discard? That's not always the right play. It is and it isn't, and that's kind of tough. You're really gonna. It's really just really feel on that one. You'll know when you want to discard and when you don't, and you'll figure it out. And finally, the number 1 scariest card in my deck for in the game for new players is gonna be No One to Talk. No One to Talk sucks. No One to Talk sucks for new players, sucks for old players, sucks period. Card is completely unbalanced, and it just says F you kind of to what the game's supposed to be doing. You teach people in this game that it's a fighting game, and what does No One to Talk do? Well, hey, guess what? You're not fighting anymore. You're throwing 1 attack, and I'm clogging your card pool so you can't pass the next one. Especially when new players wanted to go in as fast as possible, as soon as possible, stuff like that. And that's kind of crappy. I don't know. I want to, as a new person, attack all the time. I play decks I still want to attack all the time, and then they're like, hey, guess what? 3 No One to Talks, turn 1. You want to go to game 2? I mean, I'm going to block one of your cards, and then you're just going to sit there the whole game. and it's just boring. It's really boring, really NPE card, and obviously that's why it's number 1 on the countdown. Alright, I know a lot of you salty veterans out there are going to be thinking, hey, how come Paralyzing Touch isn't up there? How come Vespera's not up there? How come Cursed Blood's not up there? When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain's not up there? Well, those cards aren't necessarily cards that new players have to deal with on like day-to-day basis that they're going to find to be problematic. They're going to say, well, these cards are strong, but I don't think those cards give the most trouble to new people necessarily. I think the ones I listed are more problems for newer players than those power cards. And those power cards they're power cards. Don't get me wrong. I think those things all are good cards in the game and scary cards, but nothing. I don't think new players have as a big a grasp as getting committed down by When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain and stuff like that. I think they're going to kind of still try and go at their own pace and do their own thing. And the cards I listed really just prevent them from doing that. Is what the list really is trying to do. All right. Well, that's it for my Halloween content video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll probably be doing more top 10 lists and stuff like that around other days, whenever I feel like it, really, I guess. So this is Phil Birch. As always, hit subscribe. I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you enjoy this video, especially because I thought it was pretty fun. Hope you enjoy the Finn costume. Adventure Time is awesome. Go Adventure Time. And it's Phil Birch signing out.